Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and thanks for coming back to sharing my pipe smoking contemplations. Um, I've set my pipe up today, all filled in, and I was going to talk about what it means to learn the English language and understand why people, or a lot of people, would like to learn English and join the sort of Anglosphere world that many of us live in. And I just thought I'd do share my thoughts on that with you guys, considering I'm English, although half French. But you may have seen a previous video about that. I see myself as English, and I'm flattered that so many people want to learn my language. That's certainly the my first take on it. Um, and Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, I think it probably would open a lot of doors in terms of understanding. It's probably considered the global language in the world, probably not spoken by the most amount of people, but in terms of its reach and its range, English is it's almost become an essential part of life. For a lot of people, but then obviously you don't have to learn English if you don't want to. I don't want people to feel that they've got to learn English and it's going to make them unhappy if they haven't got command of our language, because it would be arrogant to do so. And yeah, so that's where my first thoughts. But let's get the pipe lit and have a little think, maybe think about it a bit more deeply, and try to understand a bit more as to what are the attractions and appeals of learning English. I think the main draw is probably going to be is America, because the Americans largely speak English. That's a huge pull and a huge reason why people want to learn the language, whether it's to understand the culture, go there, live there. But it's the same with the UK as well. A lot of people, certainly when it came to the EU, um, a lot of people felt that the UK had become inundated with people. But I think the main reason for that was because a lot of people in Europe could speak English. So if you're looking for a new adventure and a new way of new country to go to find a job, whatever, then English is England and the UK was the first port of call, because they could already speak the language. Um, but yeah, um, I think it's also obviously a lot of academically. There's an enormous amount of literature in English. Um, I think the website, the World Wide Web, is also dominated by English, the English language. So being able to understand videos or just to understand the humor, or maybe I'm not sure, but it was just for the pleasure of learning the language. Then uh, English is a great choice. What are my thoughts on the future of the English language? I don't know. I don't know whether we've seen a hiatus in people learning English, or whether or not the march to learning English and becoming a sort of dual language world with English as a second language for many people, not unlike the Netherlands, could be an option of where we end up. But I personally think that our languages need to be protected across the world, and I'm not talking necessarily about English. I think that the richness of language and everything that's held within those languages and their historic um, ways of communicating that go back thousands of years. I wouldn't want to see that a large number of languages die out. I don't know whether that's happening, but um, there is that danger. Whether if there's a rush to become sort of just just to learn English. Um, but yeah, I'd be interested to know your thoughts if you're thinking about learning English. You're out there and you're thinking, yeah, I think I need to learn English. What your motivations are for doing so, and what's the big appeal and what's the big attraction. It's hard for a lot of people in England, for example, like myself, is what's the attraction of learning English? It's hard for us to tell because we can speak the language already, but um, yeah, whether it's for tourism purposes, whether it's because you've got I don't know, like an Airbnb and in wherever it is, and you feel that you need to be able to talk to use an international language to show people around or help people. Um, I suppose I can see its use for sure, um, and it's fallen on the language of England's shoulders, um, to be that second language. I also think that a lot of people have, certainly in England, whether or not, I don't know about America or Australia or New Zealand or wherever, but there's no real desire for the English speaking world to learn anything new in terms of other people's languages. I think the Anglosphere is very much about, well, I can speak English, you know, that's great. I haven't got to learn, I haven't got to worry about learning anything else. And I think that's a sort of downside of English dominating the world as a language. It's almost, I mean, I can only speak for myself, I suppose. Um, but I think I think people in the UK are not learning languages as much as they should. Because it's a wonderful it's a wonderful tool. It's a language opens up. You can understand the culture of a country. You can understand the humor of a country. You can understand the nuances and really get to the nitty gritty of the language by learning their language. And I think that's the joy of studying languages. But yeah, I think I'll probably wrap up there, because obviously, give me your thoughts. As I say, if you're looking to learn English, why are you learning? Why do you want to learn English? Because I'd be interested to know. All right, guys, take care. Bye bye.